Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. I hope you're having or have had a beautiful and blessed day. I have not posted the readings last couple of days. I didn't realize it. I knew I didn't post it yesterday, but because I messed up yesterday with the phone charging, so I knew I didn't do it yesterday. But I didn't do it the day before either. Okay, here we go. Point is, sorry, I just had to let it continue. I don't know why I'm broken. The point is, I didn't post them, but anyway, I have posted them now. They are posting or whatever. Anyway, today on this friendly Friday, frisky Friday, fantastic Friday, fabulous Friday, fortuitous Friday. I know I'm annoying now. I'm sorry. Chapter 17 and 18. Chapter 17 is fairly brief, but there is a little something I want to bring up in it. I think I don't have to bring up stuff in 18, but boy, 19 and 20 I do. There's stuff that we got to talk about. Okay, no, I'm not. It's 21 and 22. That's where I really get. That's where Deuteronomy gets a little exciting for me. Alright, 17, 18, Deuteronomy. Not gonna beat this up today. Pray every day, y'all. Incessantly, unceasingly. Pray. Pray and listen to God. Alright, 17, 18, and away we go. You shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God an ox or a sheep with any serious defect. We just covered that like 2 chapters ago. That's an abomination to the Lord. If there is found in your midst, in any one of the communities which the Lord your God gives you, a man or woman who does evil in the sight of the Lord your God, and transgresses his covenant, by going to serve other gods, by bowing down to them, to the sun, to the moon, or any of the hosts of heaven, contrary to my command. Notice here that in the Old Testament there's a lot of God. I'm telling you, there are other Lord gods, but you don't freaking worship them. So, I'll be straight with you. We've always said things like Mother Nature. I don't know. Maybe Mother Nature is a little thing that God left out there. But if you're hugging trees and worshiping nature, that's wrong regardless. And hear me, I love nature. Y'all, been in a wheelchair for 20 years, I would give anything to be able to stand up on my own 2 feet with no mechanical device between me and God's earth and just go for a walk. I used to take off in the woods, and when I was 8 or 9, I would be gone for hours. When I was 25, same. I would take off walking and go that way and just walk for hours. Sit on a tree root that was coming out of a creek bend, because the tree had grown its roots into the creek and grown into the tree, so the root now sticks out. You sit on it and hang your feet up. I'd give anything to do that again. I have a little boy that has never known me in anything but a chair, and I have another boy that's about grown that's never known me anything but. Do you know what I would give to be able to hold their hands and walk with them in the woods, show them that nature is just beautiful? I'd give anything. You can believe that. So, my point is, I desperately, genuinely love nature. But I do not worship nature, nor Mother Nature. I don't talk to her as if she's somebody bigger than me to talk to. I don't do that. Alright. I can't get this clear. Alright, sorry. Let's move on. Let's move on. And if you are told or hear of it, somebody worshiping other gods, right? Okay, and if you're told or hear of it, You must investigate it thoroughly. If the truth of the matter is established that this abomination has been committed in Israel, you shall bring the man or the woman who has done this evil deed out to your gates, and stone the man or the woman to death. Only the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses shall a person be put to death. No one shall be put to death on the testimony of only 1 witness. We put people in prison for life on the testimony of 1 witness, and even God said, don't do that. One person might have got it wrong. We're idiots. Not as big idiots as some. I can't tell what he's doing at this point. But we're idiots. Anyway. No one shall be put to death on the testimony of only 1 witness. The hands of the witnesses shall be the first raised to put the person to death. See, it's the other thing, right? He tells you got to have 2 or 3 witnesses, because 1 is not sufficient. 1 may have something against that guy. The 1 may hate him that day and tomorrow feel real bad about what he did. Takes 2 or 3. And those 2 or 3, the 2 or 3 saying, yep, I saw it. I heard it. I know he was worshiping other gods. I know he did this thing. They have to be the first to cast the stones. Right? They have to be the first ones to throw those stones. How much more seriously would a witness to a crime take their testimony? If you said, okay, but if this person is convicted of armed robbery, they're going to get 30 lashes with a whip. And then jail time. Okay, and everybody's like, 30 lashes with a whip, can't do that, that's cruel. Listen to me. They're going to get 30 lashes with a whip and then jail time. And you have to give half their lashes. You. When it says you're sure they did it, you're sure that's the person you saw, you got to give half those lashes. What do you think? Do you think we would still convict people that don't deserve to be convicted like all the time? Because I don't really think we would. I think that that would help a whole lot in people being real dadgum sure before they did it. It's kind of like marriage. If divorce and everything with divorce is going to cost you $100,000, then marriage ought to cost $200,000, because you ought to be real sure. Anyway, the hands of these witnesses shall be the first raised to put the person to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. Also, thus will you all have blood on your hands if you're doing wrong. All of you. Let communities handle their own. Quit sending it to federal courts. Quit sending it to a county court. Let the people in that town decide. But make them own part of that decision. Make it painful if they're wrong. If there is a case for judgment which proves too baffling for you to decide in the matter of bloodshed or of the law or of injury matters of dispute within your gates, you shall go up to the place which the Lord your God will choose, to the Levite priest or to the judge who is in office at that time. They will investigate and announce to you their decision. You shall act according to the decision they announce to you in the place where the Lord your God will choose, carefully observing everything that they instruct you. You shall carry out the instruction they give you and the judgment they pronounce without turning aside either to the right or the left from the decision they announce to you. Anyone who acts presumptuously and does not obey the priest who officiates there in the ministry of the Lord your God, or the judge, shall die. Thus shall you purge the evil from Israel, and all the people on hearing it shall fear and will never again act presumptuously. When you have come into the land which the Lord your God has given you, and taken possession of it, and set it Should you decide then, I will set a king over me like all the surrounding nations. You may indeed set a king over you whom the Lord your God will choose. Someone from among your own kindred you may set over you as king. You may not set over you a foreigner who is no kin of yours. But he shall not have a great number of horses, nor shall people go back again to Egypt to acquire many horses. For the Lord said to you, do not go back their way again. Neither shall he have a great number of wives, lest his heart turn away, nor shall he accumulate a vast amount of silver and gold. When he is sitting upon his royal throne, he shall write a copy of this law upon a scroll from the one that is in the custody of the Levitical priest. It shall remain with him, and he shall read it as long as he lives, so that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, and to observe carefully all the words of this law and these statutes, so that he does not exalt himself over his kindred, or turn aside from his commandment to the right or to the left, and so that he and his descendants may reign long in Israel. I would like to point out to you that many kings throughout history, since this was put down, since 300 or 400 AD to now, there have been many kings that didn't like this part very much. In fact, there were some that said, don't be teaching this. We teach, they don't need to hear this. Most people at your church can't read. They depend on you. Don't read this part. Why? Because your king shall not lord over you that he's your king. Your king shall not be wealthy. He shall not have great numbers of horses and flocks and wives. For if he's not dedicated to God, he cannot be dedicated to his people. And if he has all these things, he's not going to be dedicated to God, right? You can have a king, but he should be middle class. Chapter 18, the Levitical priests, the whole tribe of Levi, shall have no hereditary portion with Israel. They shall eat the fire offerings of the Lord and the portions due to him. They shall have no heritage among their kindred. The Lord himself is their heritage, as he has told them. This shall be the due of the priests from the people. Those who are offering a sacrifice, whether an ox or a sheep, shall give the priest the shoulder, the jowls, and the stomach. Now, if anybody knows anything, belly fat, right? The shoulder, don't remember what you're talking about. Cow, sheep, pig, I don't care. Shoulder's good. Look up where your best cuts of meat come from, some of these animals and stuff. Like, he's giving the Levites the good stuff, I'm telling you. The first fruits of your grain, your wine, and your oil, as well as all the first sharing of your flock, you shall also give him. For the Lord your God has chosen him out of your tribes to be in attendance to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his descendants for all time. When a Levite goes from one of your communities anywhere in Israel in which he has been residing to visit, as his heart may desire, the place which the Lord will choose, and ministers there in the name of the Lord his God, like all of his fellow Levites who stand before the Lord there, he shall receive the same portions to eat, along with his stipends and patrimony. Do you hear this? Do you? God was saying you give stipends way before companies did it. Along with his stipends and patrimony. He's telling you, even though you got your own Levi sister comes to town to visit, but he teaches while he's there. Well, he works while he's there, so he deserves something. We don't use anything from this book anymore. It's antiquated. If you own your own business and you go on vacation to Florida, but while you're in Florida, you take a day to conduct some business, right? You're a tire guy, so you go talk to the local tire shop about maybe supplying them tires, even though you know you're in Georgia, northwest Georgia, and they're in southeast Florida, and you know it's never going to happen. You wouldn't work that day, didn't you? So what you going to do? What you going to do? You're going to write that whole trip off, aren't you? As a tax write-off. Because you worked while you were there. Everything we do comes from this book. Everything comes from this book. That isn't evil. So, yeah, you gotta have some kind of, anyway. When you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to imitate the abominations of the nations there. Let there not be found among you anyone who causes their son or daughter to pass through the fire, or practices divination, or is a soothsayer, augur, or sorcerer, or who casts spells, consults ghosts and spirits, or seeks oracles from the dead. Now, I'm not telling you anyone who does these things right now is doing any more sin than you or I, because they're not. But what I am telling you is if you go to a psychic regularly, you got to stop that now. Do I believe God gives people powers to do those kind of things? I absolutely do. Do I believe the people that God gave those powers to are charging you money to go do it? Anyone, now remember, you can say things and they don't make you unclean now, right? Christ said nothing that comes out of your mouth can make you unclean. Nothing that goes in your mouth can make you unclean. It's what comes out, right? So soothsayers and all these things, right? They can be a problem for themselves, right? Anyone who does such things is an abomination to the Lord, and because of such abominations, the Lord your God is dispossessing them before you. You must be altogether sincere with the Lord your God. Although these nations whom you are about to dispossess listen to their soothsayers and diviners, the Lord your God will not permit you to do so. A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up for you from among your own kindred. A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up before you, right? So, there are some that will tell you a prophet like me is Moses saying, and the ones that will continue to lead you, right? The prophets after me, right? Jacob, and that whole line, okay, that whole line all the way up to Christ. And there's some who say this is about theology, right? That's why I don't teach theology. I teach you the Bible, and then you decide. There's some that say a prophet like me is just a direct reference to Christ. To Christ coming back, to Christ coming and being the prophet, right? Being the sacrifice, the lamb, right? We got a lot of typology. We talk about that, right? We got a lot of typology. A lot of examples of the lamb, of, right, that figure. But Christ is that figure perfected. I like to think he's talking about Jesus. A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up for you from among your own kindred. That is the one to whom you shall listen. He didn't say they will be the ones or the lineage of the earth. Nothing like that. And they do a lot in the Bible, right? We get a lot of that when they're talking like that. But he doesn't say that here. He says, that is the one to whom you shall listen. What does Christ say all the time? Listen to me. Those who have ears, right? This is exactly what you requested of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of assembly, when you said, let me not again hear the voice of the Lord my God, nor see this great fire anymore, or I will die. And the Lord said to me, what they have said is good. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their kindred, and will put my words into the mouth of the prophet. The prophet shall tell them all that I command. Anyone who will not listen to my words, which the prophet speaks in my name, I myself will hold accountable for it. Anyone who will not listen to my words which the prophet speaks in my name, I myself will hold accountable for it. But if a prophet presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded, or speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. Should you say to yourselves, how can we recognize that a word is one the Lord has not spoken? If a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, but the word does not come true, it is a word the Lord did not speak. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. What did we just hear about that? They die. Make an example. Do not fear him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. All right. Pray for New York City. Pray for California. I know we talked about that the other day. Remember the fence. We can build on it no matter how rocky, no matter how rough, no matter what the terrain is like, we can build on it. We just have to adjust how we build. So pray for them, because they need it. God loves you. He would do anything. God will forgive you, love you, help you, all the things. Except He will not accept you unless you truly try to make changes, unless you truly want to be better. Remember that one of the things we'll be judged on is the intent of our heart. I break it down like this every time. What we're going to be judged on is what and what for, or what and why, right? What'd you do? Your deeds. And why? The intent of your heart. Because if you did a bunch of good deeds, but they were all done for selfish reasons, you're probably in trouble. So, we're going to be judged on the what we did and the why we did it. Make your whys worth it every time. Make your whys worth it every time. If your why is always about love or about help, because if it's about help, it's about love, isn't it? If it's about love, if your why is always about love, somehow, about love, I think you're probably alright. I think also there's a reason that people say there's going to be a lot of people in heaven that people aren't ready to see there. And a lot of people missing that a lot of people think are going to be there. It's because of that intent of your heart thing. Because as human beings, all we can see is what you do. I can see what you do. But I can't see why you did it. I can guess why you did it. I can think I know why you did it. I can even, if it's a case of a man killing another man because he caught him sleeping with his wife, I can have a pretty dang good idea why he did it. But do I? Did you kill him because you hated him? Or did you kill him because you loved your wife? And you lost your mind? See, that matters to God. It doesn't matter to our law as much, it does a little bit. Premeditation versus walking in on it and killing him, right? But it matters to God a lot. I know it matters to God a lot because He says all the time, you will be judged on the intent of your heart. The contents of your heart. The things that no human being can see or know. That only God can know. So that beautiful, sweet little lady in church that has always done everything she could to help everybody. If in her heart she had done it the whole time trying to get into heaven, because when she was young she was a real piece of crap, that could be a problem for her. Now for her, she was doing it the whole time because she loved God and wanted to help, even though she didn't think she had a chance in the world to get in heaven. That probably matters too. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I love you. Jesus Christ loves you a whole lot more.